I am content creator Mary Barnett, also known as Mobile Mary. I empower women entrepreneurs by sharing digital marketing solutions on my show, Brilliant Marketing with Mary. Hey, 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 and welcome to the Brilliant Marketing Show with Mary. And I am Mary, or Mobile Mary. And today is going to be a super exciting show. And by the way, Happy New Year. Can you believe it's 2024? What the heck? Well, we're going to do more, be more, gain more in 2024. All those rhymes. But today my show is about how to get past imposter syndrome and gain visibility with a leading expert. And I'm super excited. She's a new friend and she's absolutely brilliant. I only interview brilliant people on this show. So I'm super thrilled to introduce her to you. But before we do that, I want to make sure to invite you to my free Facebook group. It's called the Marketing Innovators Playground. I'll put the link in the comments. But it's a super fun place to find innovative ways to help market your company because we're all about creating fun to attract your ideal client. So I hope that you will join me inside there. But again, today's show is so exciting because we all have imposter syndrome. Sometimes we don't even recognize it. I'm going to share a story today about it happened to me. And I've actually been in business for 35 years. So you would think I'd be over myself by now, but no, it creeps back in. And so our expert today, Kelli, she is going to be able to share with us how to get over yourself, right? And gain more visibility in your business. I think maybe one person in the world doesn't know who she is. So I thought I would read a little short intro just so you know who you're dealing with, because really, she's going to blow your socks off. Komondor is a visibility strategist, speaker, and best-selling author. Yes, at her company K2 Creative Strategies, her mission is to empower and elevate ambitious professionals, including solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, authors, coaches, and speakers. And without further ado, let's bring her up. Yay!
That was fabulous. Thank you, Mary. I love having new friends, and Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you so much. I mean, seriously, I can remember thinking, oh, it'll never be 2020. I mean, 2000 period. And then it was out 2024. What the heck?
I know.
Nuts, nuts.
I know.
Well, that shows that we have staying power, right? That we've been around
Yes.
and we're survivors. So that is awesome. Well, like I said, we're going to be talking today about imposter syndrome. And tell me a little bit about what your definition of imposter syndrome is.
It's me.
I,
I'm the
I can
problem.
relate. Yes, go.
Um, I didn't know what imposter syndrome was until probably about, I want to say 2005.
Okay.
I was working at a local business newspaper here in Pittsburgh. I live in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And I was always down on myself, always saying like, why are they giving me this raise? Or, I'm getting a job title change, a promotion. Why? Like, when are they going to figure me out? When are they going to figure out that like, I don't deserve any of this? Like, I'm serious.
Right.
And a friend of mine said, you have imposter syndrome. And I said, what? I said, I'm not an imposter. She goes, no, imposter syndrome. And then she explained to me that it's when you do have knowledge and know-how and you do really well at your job or in life in general. There's a lot of mothers that say that they have imposter syndrome as a mother.
Wow.
And so I started this path of like trying to figure out why do I have this? What does it mean? And how can I help other people overcome these feelings? And that's how I got to where I am today.
Wow. Well, it's interesting. You had made this comment. I thought this was kind of cool on your brilliant marketing share that high achievers struggle with imposter syndrome, which affects their visibility in the marketplace. What do you mean by that?
Here's the thing. If you are struggling with imposter syndrome, you're not putting yourself out there.
Mm,
If, and I always say it's waiting to be tapped instead of putting yourself out there for, if you're a speaker, to have an opportunity to speak. If you're
right.
an author, maybe there's an article that you could write for a really big publication and you can do it, but you're fearful that you're going to be questioned or that you're going to apply and not get the position or not get the article or whatever.
Right.
So people with imposter syndrome, they kind of sit back and wait for people to tap them and say like, hey, do you do this? Or, hey, is this something in your wheelhouse? Because they're so afraid of putting themselves out there to rejection. My thing is, whenever I worked in the place that I was working at, where I was told I had imposter syndrome, I would eat lunch in my car for like the first couple of months because I didn't want to be sitting in the kitchen because I had overheard conversations, people talking about their college degrees. I don't have a college degree.
Okay.
People talking about these other really big positions they had held in other jobs. And I was so fearful that they were
Wow.
going to ask me about that stuff that I sat in my car and I ate lunch there for probably a good month before I really started to feel comfortable talking to people. It's
Wow.
terrible. It's terrible.
Wow. Yeah, and I think this is I mean, I don't think a lot of men have this issue. For some reason, they're born with a confidence that, yeah, I deserve this. Yeah, I should do like walk in a room. We were just talking about the Barbie movie. Um, but I think like it happens to everyone. And it's not like just for people who are new in business. Like I just
Mhm.
celebrated my 35th anniversary in business. And as I said, I'm only 36. Thank you.
Amazing.
I know. I was a go-getter. Came right out of the
Yes.
womb. Mom,
Came
let's
right
start a
out.
marketing company. Yeah. Um, But I was sharing with you off screen
Mhm.
that this happened to me recently where you think I would have gotten over myself by now. I went to a conference in Nashville. There was like 2,000 women, certified women-owned business owners there. It was for the national organization for that. It's called WeBank. And
Oh, yeah.
I am not a shy person. I'm literally like you look at the extrovert in my pictures next to in the dictionary. I love people. I love being in crowds. I love speaking on stage. Like I dig on that. But I walked in and I all of a sudden was looking around going, I am not worthy to be here.
Yes.
I wasn't even like verbalizing those feelings inside me. I just was feeling this overwhelm, which I don't normally do. I mean, that's like not me. So I remember like finding an excuse to go back to my room to like I don't know, let's, TMI, go to the bathroom. Like I have to go to the bathroom or something. And I
Right.
remember hiding out. So I
Yeah.
found things to do where I would paid a lot of money to be at that conference. I should have been out there networking and doing all the things, right? I got a phone call from a gentleman who was on I was the president of American Marketing Association here locally. And he called me for a referral to something. And so we started talking and he goes, what are you doing? Why are you sitting in the room? And I was like, well, I just feel, and he was like, oh my God, Mary, you have imposter syndrome. And I was like, no. And he goes, yes, you do. Now you stop it. He says, you
Yeah.
smack yourself around and you get your butt out there to the conference. And I was like, oh,
He's
like it
right.
threw me.
He's right. Yes.
So
And you said
how,
about, I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so tell me like how if someone's recognized this in themselves, maybe that's why they're not sharing what their accomplishments on social media, they're not putting themselves out there in email or anything to like reach out and tell people what they do. How do they get
Right.
over it? You're the expert in this. What should people do?
It's not easy. And it's funny because you mentioned about men as opposed to women with imposter syndrome.
Right,
And there's a statistic, and I don't know the exact numbers, but it's close to this. If you're applying for a job as a female and you get onto the company website, say, and
right.
there's 10 qualifications they have listed, if a woman cannot check off all 10, she will not apply for that position. A man, I want to say a man only needs to check off between 4 and 6, and they will still go for the position. I'm gonna have to look that up and get you the exact statistic, but that
Wow.
is yes, because women feel if they can't check every box, they're not worthy. They can't check every box, they're going to be questioned. And men are just like,
Interesting.
"Hey, I got half of this. I can apply for this job. I have half of what they're looking for."
Yeah.
And there's a lot of famous men who have said that they have imposter syndrome. Tom Hanks is one. Mark Cuban is one. There's a
Wow.
lot of famous men who have admitted to having imposter syndrome. So
Wow.
that was kind of off topic of your question, but I wanted to make
No,
sure that I remembered to tell you that because I think that is such a mind blowing statistic. It's crazy.
that is nuts. Well, maybe this is the your brilliant marketing fact is that true storytelling from the heart allows others to relate to you. Is this a strategy to help
Yes.
get over it?
It's one of
Tell me
mine, yes.
more.
Yes, it's one of mine. I actually do a 90-minute workshop that I talk to people about imposter syndrome. I have a workbook and, PowerPoint, it's the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
And part of what people really enjoy about it whenever I get the surveys back and people make comments and give me referrals is that I tell true life stories. I talk about sitting in my car and eating my lunch. I talk from the heart and I tell people that it's okay to feel this way, but you can't let it hold you back. I mean,
Wow.
I experience imposter syndrome every day. The crazy thing is I had a friend who was an old client that I worked with whenever I first started my business, who actually called me this morning and wants to start working with me again. And I kind of hit the panic button and I was like, why does she want to work with me again? What's happening? Like nothing bad happened. She went a different way. I went a different way. And
Right.
now she's been seeing my stuff on social media. She's been following me. And now we're aligning again like we did 2 years ago. But the
Right.
first thought in my head was, why does she want to work with me?
Oh
She
my
wants to work with
gosh.
me because she knows me, because she's
Yeah.
worked with me before, and she
Yeah.
knows that I can help her. And
Right.
it is the worst feeling in the world.
Oh my God.
And
Okay. You know, what you just said that reminded me. Every time someone says, I need to talk, I think, like, I don't know why, I go right back to elementary school where I'm being called to the principal's
yeah,
office.
you think it's bad.
And I'm like, yeah, why is that? So every time, seriously, that's so weird that you said that because it's like I'll have a client saying, hey, we need to talk. And I think, oh my God, they want to fire me.
Right.
Why? I do great work
Why
for
would you
them.
think
I'm
that?
getting
Like,
great results. They're always praising me, but one email or text that says we need to talk, I think, like, what the heck is that?
yes, I know. And we do it to ourselves all the time. I mean, even, like I was saying, going for a job, going for a raise, going for a promotion, all of that stuff, we second guess ourselves because we're so fearful that we don't have what it takes, when we have proven to ourselves and to our clients and to our family and our friends and our colleagues over and over and over again that we do have what it takes. We're in the positions we're in because we worked hard, and that's how we got there.
Right. Wow. That seriously, I mean, like,
And there's all kinds of stuff. Like, we
it's
need
so
90
nice to
minutes,
hear
girlfriend.
that we're
Yeah,
not
we need.
alone.
No, you're not. And we need like 90 minutes. I mean, there's imposter personalities. There's
Oh,
three different things like that could have happened when you were a child that led to your imposter syndrome. Like, there's so much in this. And like I tell people all the time, I don't claim to be, a doctor or a shrink or whatever, but I've done my research and I have facts that I share with people. And that's what people love. So when you talk about like heart-centered storytelling, they want facts and they want to know who you are and who you truly are inside, and that you care about their success.
wow. Okay. Well, you've got me on two things. I'm interested in what are the five different personalities and what are the three things that happen in childhood? Can you, I know we like have a limited time, but can you
I'll
rattle
do the
through them?
three. I'll do the three childhood
Okay.
things
Okay.
because that's shorter.
Okay.
There's different ways of looking at it, but there's one bucket as you're the person that everything has come to you very easily. So you are like the superstar. You're the gold star, the A plus. So whenever you become an adult, if everything doesn't come to you that easily, then you automatically think that you're an imposter. You don't deserve this. That, if you have to work really hard to get somewhere and you didn't as a child because you were just brilliant, straight A student, gifted program, you tend to think that, okay, I don't deserve this job. I shouldn't be in this position because I have to really work hard to learn this stuff. Then
Interesting.
there's the unsupported person, and that's the person that makes me so sad. It's the person who might have done well in school or in sports or whatever, but never had anybody to be their cheerleader. So they feel funny celebrating successes because either they didn't have a parental figure or maybe teachers or a coach or somebody like that who were able to celebrate and tell them that it's okay to celebrate whenever you do well. So that's another one, is the unsupported person. And
Okay.
then there's the person that whenever they do work hard, they still need more understanding. So it takes a little bit of time. You might not have been the straight A student, but as you work and you gain more knowledge, then that kind of sets you back because you feel like you should have known all that from the beginning. It's
Oh,
complicated. It's a
wow.
whole thing. I know, it's a whole thing. And it's funny because most people can identify with one, but I've had people in my workshop say, I identify with more than one. I was unsupported, but yet I was a straight A student. So
Right.
now whenever I go to work and I'm given a new project and I need help with it, I feel like an imposter because I should just know this off the top of my head.
Right.
It's wild.
That is wild. Wow. Okay. So where can people, I mean, I want you, email me the link, but I would love to
Yes.
share if people want to sign up for your workshop. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, I do virtual, I do in person, and I send the workbooks out, and it's very open. I do two breakout sessions, which really gets people to, communicate with each other. People are
Right.
sometimes shy in a large group, so they do better in a smaller group.
Right.
Yeah, we'll definitely send you links.
Okay, good. Well, say what it is right now verbally. So if it's they're listening to the podcast, bless you.
Excuse me, I'm coming over a little sickness over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
My website is k2creativellc.com,
Okay.
and then under speaking. So there's a
Under
tab, a
speaking.
drop down under speaking.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll send me the link and I'll put it in the show
Yes.
notes. So again,
Mhm.
if anyone is interested in that, make sure you comment in the comments, and I'll make sure that you get that because Kelli, seriously, that is going to save so many people so much heartache because
Yes.
I think that we need to value ourselves and value our experience and, um, step
True.
into our purpose. Something I say all the time is that we are an answer to someone's prayer. You never know, right? Who needs what we're doing? And if we are not visible, right, we're not
Right.
putting ourselves out there, telling our stories, sharing our experiences, we don't know, like, if someone is just happens to scroll on social media or get our email or they're searching online and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I'm looking for." If you don't put
Right.
it out there, how are they going to find you?
Never.
Right? You can't keep
Never,
that
never.
light under a bushel.
And it's the waiting to be tapped again. It's just sitting back and you expect people to just come to you. And that's not going to happen. You need to get that visibility for yourself.
I love that. I love it. Well, Kelli, thank you so much. We're at the end of our show. I just want to make sure everybody knows how to get a hold of you. Here is the website here, k2creativellc.com, and go under story to get the link to that workshop. I think that's awesome.
Speaker.
And
Thank you. Yeah.
and on social media, how can they reach you? What is your favorite social media?
I'm really getting into Instagram. I
Oh,
really enjoy doing Instagram. So it's just
awesome.
at K2 Creative LLC on Instagram. I love it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll make sure to put that in the notes as well. So, Kelli, it was such a pleasure getting to know you and what a blessing you are to the world. And happy 2024. May it exceed your dreams. May you be blessed abundantly in all you do. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in person someday, which is be so exciting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome.
We'll crisscross the coasts.
I love that. All right, cool. So listen, everyone, this is the first show of 2024. Look for us every Tuesday at 12:30 Pacific. Same bat time, same bat channel. And remember, be brilliant in all you do. Have a great day. Bye. You can learn more about me and my products and services at anotherbrilliantidea.com. Make sure you join me every week on the SWE Media Network YouTube channel and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.